Hey guys, it's Jennifer with Roots Redefined. Get your passport ready, because today we are taking you through America and Canada at Disney's 2021 Flower and Garden Festival. Now, neither of these countries are highlighted in the festival passport for garden destinations or character topiaries, but we think they are well worth a visit. In the United States, home gardening dates back to the 18th century when colonists grew vegetables for sustenance. As produce markets became widespread in the mid-19th century, gardens became an outlet for leisure rather than labor. Edible gardens fell out of favor and ornamental gardens took center stage. U.S. plant breeders focused on new garden varieties, and U.S. researchers became known for their work on plant diseases and pests. As time went on, home gardens moved from just outside the front door to side and backyards. Front door gardens were replaced by stylish maintained grasses known as lawns. Exotic flowers were also popular during this time. In the early 1900s, home gardens became more natural looking, with softened lines and landscapes. Garden designers started using native plants, previously considered too weed-like, instead of new nursery-cultivated varieties. World War II brought U.S. home gardeners back to the vegetable patch, and urban community gardens started during World War II took on new life. President Roosevelt urged every American household to fight food shortages with a home garden. However, interest in vegetable gardens and orchards diminished once the war was over. With the advent of Earth Day in 1970, renewed enthusiasm for edible gardening took root in the U.S., and more Americans started growing their own produce. In the 1980s, gardens became extensions of the home instead of separate areas, and outdoor rooms came back in style. Low-maintenance, drought-tolerant native plants became more prominent in home gardens. In the 1990s, interest in small-space gardening soared as urban populations grew at the fastest rate in history. Containers, trellises, and permanent planters built into hardscapes became the new home garden for Americans with small, private urban spaces. And fun fact, in the 18th and 19th centuries, flower gardens often carried associations of status, wealth, and taste because of the expense of skilled gardening and of rare flower species. The high cost of flowers enhanced the cachet of flower gardens. A push to use old-fashioned plants as opposed to new hybrids or florist flowers may have been in part an attempt to decrease the cost of a flower garden. Now here in the US, we love our lawns with vast expenses devoted to it. The lawn isn't as significant in any other culture. In England, meadows are everywhere, even in graveyards. Mown grass dominates any American yard or public space currently. However, meadows are starting to show up in some places, which I'm pretty excited about. And now let's discuss the overall landscaping here. From sea to shining sea, the United States will dazzle you with its vibrant plant life. The beds and containers here are appropriately colored in red, white, and blue flowers. Placed around the fountain are tall vertical towers of red geraniums covered with a skirt of asparagus fern at the base. Vertical tower gardens help to create impressive flowers in volumes. They also solve the classical problem of the three-dimension in any landscaping project. You'll also find rectangular planters full of purple and blue lobelia mixed with white sweet william. I'm a big fan of the large bed full of blue delphiniums and white sun patience. Delphiniums bring unrivaled height and color to gardens with their showy spikes of vibrant flowers. The most common colors are shades of blue or purple, but there are others available. They bloom with single, semi-double, or double flowers, also called florets. Delphiniums can be high maintenance, needing just the right conditions. Thankfully, new strands of hybrids are being developed that aren't as fussy. Here in Florida, the plants last through spring and decline during the summer heat and rains. We also have wood barrels full of wild coffee, a Florida native plant. Surrounding the wild coffee are white sun patience and sweet william, along with blue days. We also have another planter nearby with an iris in the center. Surrounding the iris are trailing petunias and ivy. These arrangements remind me of the thriller, filler, spiller planting technique. What is a thriller, filler, spiller? This set of simple rhyming words helps us create professional-looking container plant designs by grouping plants into three basic categories. Great designs include a thriller, a tall plant usually with a strong statement of form and color, filler plants that fill the space hiding the soil, and a spiller that weeps over the edge of the pot. The result is a three-dimensional arrangement that looks fantastic. I love the magnolias and the large rectangular wood planters. Trellises are used to support the trees as they grow. Surrounding the magnolias, you'll find some trailing ivy and dusty miller, along with a variety of white flowering plants, including geraniums, petunias, and sweet alyssum. Magnolias are the iconic tree of the South, producing intoxicating blooms. The classic southern magnolia is the famous specimen of this majestic tree, but there are many species and varieties of magnolia trees that can be grown almost anywhere in the United States. Whether you're in Minnesota or Mississippi, there's a magnolia that will grow in your garden. Magnolias can be deciduous or evergreen trees and shrubs. They come in a vast array of cultivars and species that can suit most any garden size and growing conditions. 8 species of magnolias are native to the United States. Many other species are native to Asia. Most magnolias thrive in full sun or partial shade with regular water. And now let's make our way over to America's neighbor in the north. Canada's landscaping is a little underrated in my opinion. Don't pass up an opportunity to check it out. It's gorgeous back here. Now before you head towards the back garden in Canada, take a moment to notice the woodbarrow planters along the main pathway. They are full of gorgeous bright blooms, including yellow sunflowers, purple petunias, white pentas and sweet william, orange cosmos, and what looks to be either blue larkspur or lobelia. And they might not have character topiaries here, but how could you overlook these adorable bears sitting on wood logs? I'm smitten. They are in a bed of lovely sunflowers, pink sweet william, and peach garden delilahs. It's difficult to not love sunflowers. Very few plants are as heat tolerant, resistant to pests, and simply beautiful. Sunflowers also make excellent cut flowers, and many are attractive to bees and birds. And at the end of the season, it's easy to harvest sunflower seeds for a tasty snack or for replanting. Now, as you walk into the garden, you're greeted by pink tea roses and hanging baskets full of red, purple, and yellow petunias. Here we have the Victoria Gardens. Inspired by the spectacular Butchart Gardens of British Columbia, these gardens are a reminder and a reflection of horticulture as a work of art and a labor of love. The Butchart Gardens are the most famous gardens in Victoria, British Columbia, dubbed the City of Gardens. The gardens receive over 1 million visitors each year and have even been designated as a National Historic Site of Canada. Jenny Butchart, the wife of a wealthy miner, wanted to beautify a limestone quarry, and so in 1912 she started turning the abandoned pit into a garden. Today, the family-run gardens include a rose garden with 2,500 rose bushes, an Italian garden, and even a Japanese garden. You'll also find millions of bedding plants and over 900 varieties. Now let's discuss some more of the plants and flowers displayed here. In Canada, you'll find red and yellow snapdragons, red geraniums, and purple sunpatiens and petunias. We also have purple queen, plantain lily, blue plumbago, and purple fountain grass. The plumbago is an easy-to-care-for shrub that brings interest to many landscapes. These sturdy shrubs also make great container plants. The plumbago is native to South Africa, thriving in heat. In the United States, it's found growing year-round in the southernmost parts of Texas and Florida. The stems are thin and somewhat vine-like, keeping its form delicate even in mass plantings. It's prized for the profusion of blue phlox-like flowers it produces for extended periods of time. The plumbago also has few pests and diseases are rare. And as a bonus, it's deer and drought resistant. Tucked away in the back, you'll find the most adorable little cottage. It's surrounded by a bed of pink celosia, yellow bush daisies, white cosmos, and purple flowers. The pond in the middle of the bed is really nice too. You might not realize it, but many of us have an innate attraction to the natural soothing sound and mesmerizing sight of water. It's wired inside us. A garden pond can be a clean, clear, empty body of water, simply there for reflection and pleasure. Or it can have lotus-like water lilies floating on top or be populated with vibrant and friendly koi fish. Either way, it's sure to enhance your outdoor space. Canadian gardens are inspired by British and French traditions that early European settlers brought with them. For a similar look, you can edge paths with low hedges, plant an espalier tree against a fence, or create a grid formation for garden beds. Now, something you may not realize is the unpredictability of the harsh climate in Canada has required gardeners to develop new species or hardy varieties of perennial plants. A Canadian garden relies on evergreen trees and shrubs that will provide year-round structure and interest. In this garden here, you'll also find evergreens such as junipers and cypress. Trees with attractive bark, perennial grasses that will look good beneath a layer of snow, and hardy flowering shrubs are also good choices. And in that spirit, don't be afraid to experiment in your own garden. If last year's plants died, try something different this year. Find out what's thriving in your neighbor's gardens and ask for cuttings. And if you see something blooming its head off by the side of the road with no encouragement beyond motorists' exhaust fumes, that's a plant that likes your climate. Find out its name and sprinkle some seeds in your garden. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out my flower and garden video on the United Kingdom. So that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. This is Jennifer with Roots Redefined. I'll see you again real soon.